Hello, everybody. This is Dante, and welcome to my channel. I am here to tell you about my experiences while traveling, hopefully, give you some insight, and just basically share. Sometimes it's just my mindless rants of what's going on. Um, so, I'm currently in Montenegro, I'm in Ulcin, which is very beautiful. But I feel like I think what I'm well, actually, I did want to tell you this. So I was in Kosovo, I was in Pristina, and then I went to Prizren. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but that's where I ended up taking the bus from to get here. So just so you know, if you are in Prizren and you are wanting to go to Ulcin in Montenegro, there's an 8 a.m. bus and a 9 a.m. bus. And I took an 8 a.m. bus. The bus is supposed to take 4 to 4.5, maybe 5 hours to get here. It took me 10 hours to get here. I really don't know how that happened, but it was a miserable bus ride. Like, oh my goodness, it made me so crazy. I basically the bus wasn't even very full. There was maybe 8 people on the bus. I'm just gonna tell you this story actually, and actually I think that's all I'm gonna talk about on this thing is just this story of this bus ride. So there wasn't very many people on the bus, so I feel like we should have been able to social distance. It should not have been an issue. Yet there was a lady on the bus. She had 3 kids, all boys. The youngest one looked like he was maybe around 3 years old. I don't know. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. And he was basically, I think he maybe had some behavioral issues because he was like crying a lot and screaming and kicking and having like these tantrums, and it was just like very hard to handle. So I have 2 sisters and a brother. I'm the baby of the family, and all of my siblings have children. So I completely get it when your child is like not listening and you're in public and you're trying to your best, like basically hold it together. Like I get it. I'm not gonna fault you for that. I'm not gonna like give you dirty looks if your child is like acting crazy and is out of control. Like it's fine. But what I did have an issue with is I'm sitting all the way in the back of the bus, and I specifically chose this place in the back of the bus because nobody was back there and I did not want to be around anybody. I wanted to have like my own space, my own bubble, because also I will just say, as a woman of color, while I feel like traveling in the Balkans is really amazing and I love it, and I haven't had any issues of anybody being like racist to me or being like, rude to me or anything, I do feel like I get stared at constantly. Like people are constantly staring at me, constantly like looking, like they're staring. And so I feel that sometimes and I get it. I understand why. It's because they don't see that many people who look like me or whatever, and I get it. So I don't get offended by it, but sometimes I just want to break. And so sometimes I want to just go in the back, fade in, and like not be noticed, and just have some space. And so I'm sitting in the back of the bus, and I'm back there for like a good 2 hours, and it's all good. And then all of a sudden, this lady comes back there with her like crying, out of control son, and she like sits behind me, and she's like pulling on my seat and like to like sit behind me, and she's just doing all this stuff. And so I'm like, okay, like maybe she wants to come to the back of the bus because there's nobody back here, so that way she can be back here with her son and whatever. So I get my stuff and I move to the middle of the bus because I still don't want any part of this nonsense. I don't want anyone that close to me. I just want to be by myself. I want to have my space. And so I go to the middle of the bus because, like I said, the bus is basically empty. There's not really anybody on the bus. And so then I'm there in my middle seat for about maybe, once again, an hour, maybe 2 hours. And this woman comes up to where I am in the middle of the seat, like the middle seat, with her child again, like kind of catty corner to me. And he's like crying, and I'm just like, you have to know I'm trying to get away from you. Like, you have to know I'm trying to get away. Why everywhere I move, like, you go there too? Like, I don't get it. It makes no sense. And so I once again grab my bag, which is, it's a hassle because I don't have just like a simple streamlined backpack. My backpack has my tennis shoes on this side, my wedge sandals on this side. So like I'm like trying to walk through the aisle. So it's like it's kind of a hassle for me to do it. But I get my stuff and I go further to the front of the bus. So I'm like, okay, this should be fine. She's probably not gonna come here. This woman, I lie to you not, comes there. And then at this point, one of her other sons is like blocking me. He's standing like in the like basically at the opening of my seat. So I can't even like get up and move without telling him to get out of my way. And I'm just like, to this date, I have no idea, even though it was only 2 days ago, so I shouldn't say to this day like it was so long, but I have no idea why everywhere I went, she was there. Like, it drove me absolutely insane. Like, yes, I was very annoyed. And it was like a 10-hour bus ride. So it was supposed to be 4 hours. It was 10 hours. By the time I left at 8 a.m., I think it was, and I got here at like 5:30 or 6 o'clock. It was like in the evening. It was already getting dark. I had only eaten once that day. I was like in such a horrible mood. It was it was a day. But yes, that is the story of how I got here, but I did get here and it's beautiful. And so, I mean, I am definitely very appreciative of that, and I'm appreciative of the fact that I even get to travel on a 10-hour bus ride. That was only 15 euros. It was only 15 euros for me to get from Kosovo to Montenegro. So I definitely can't complain because that's a fantastic price, even though it was a miserable bus ride. And it was absolutely beautiful. The landscape, like, I feel like I don't think I've seen landscape that's been that like jaw-dropping to me since I was in like the north of the Philippines. But that is just, for me, that's how I felt about it. I thought it was really, really impressive. But anyways, I really didn't want to make this video too long. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions about buses, I do feel like it is very cheap to travel between, especially the Balkans area. I think my bus from Pristina to Prizren was only like 3 or 5 euros. My bus from, okay, I have more to tell you, but I'll tell you about that on a different video. So bye, thank you for watching, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.